In this video I'm going to show you some more essential power chord shapes, so stay tuned. Hey there, this is James for James Shipway Guitar, and welcome to my third video in this power chord lesson series. Now, if you haven't got my power chord guide yet, then you can get it by clicking the link underneath this video. It's got all the chord boxes, diagrams, tab and everything from this short series of power chord lessons. So check it out and it will help you get the most out of this video series. So far we've looked at the open string power chord shapes, and we've looked at the movable power chord shapes with their root notes going along the E string. In this video, we're going to learn some movable power chord shapes with their root notes on the A string. So let's jump in. Now these shapes are pretty much the same as the ones in the last video. You might remember this shape from that video. If I was playing G5, I'd play the E string at the 3rd fret, and the A string and the D string at the 5th fret. We also saw how we can take off our little finger and just play the E and the A string. And we can then move that up and down the neck. And so on. Now this next set of shapes are exactly the same, except they're on the A, D and G string. Let's have a look at how we play a B5 chord. Using this shape to play B5, we need to go to the 2nd fret. We're going to play the A string at the 2nd fret. We're going to play the D string at the 4th fret. And we're going to play the G string at the 4th fret. That's our shape. Now, just like in the other video, if you wish, you can take off your little finger sometimes and just play the A and the D strings. But for most of this lesson, I'm going to use the 3-string shape, this one here. Now, just like with the other shapes, we can move this up and down the neck. And as we move it to different frets, we get a different chord. Let's have a look at what we get as we move this chord up the neck. So we've already seen that we get B5 at the 2nd fret. If we move that up 1 fret, so our first finger is at the 3rd fret, we get a C5 chord. Move it up 2 more to the 5th fret, and we get D5. Move it up 2 frets to the 7th fret, and we get E5. Move it to the 8th fret, we get F5. Move it to the 10th fret, and it's G5. Move it up to the 12th fret and we get an A5 chord. B5, C5, D5, E5, F5, G5, A5. Now the root note in this chord shape is on the A string. So as we move it up and down the neck, whatever that note becomes, that's the root of the chord we get. So at the 2nd fret, that note is B. And that's why we have a B5 chord there. At the 5th fret on the A string, we have the note D. And that's why that chord is called D5. Knowing these notes and where to move them to up and down the strings is totally essential if you want to be fluent with your power chords, or actually fluent with any chords or any scales. So it's definitely worth putting a bit of time in and learning those notes as well as you can. Now we've also got the sharps and flats, of course, and you'll remember that these are the notes in between the natural notes. Now the natural notes are just like A, B, C, D, E, F and G. In between those we have the sharps and flats. Now if we go down a fret from a note, we get a flat. So B at the 2nd fret, move it down a fret to the 1st fret, and we get B flat. B flat at the 1st fret. Between C and D at the 4th fret, we have C sharp, also called D flat. Between D and E, we have D sharp or E flat. Between E and F, there is no sharp or flat. We have E at the 7th fret and F at the 8th fret. Between F and G at the 9th fret, we have F sharp or G flat. And at the 11th fret, between G and A, we have G sharp or A flat 5. So if you know that well, you can use that shape to play any power chord you might need. along the A string on the A and D string or the A, D and G string. Remember some of the important details about these chords which we covered in some of the other videos. You only want to play the strings you're pressing down. You don't want any of the other open strings in there like that. It's going to sound a mess. So how do we get around that? Well, you might remember our first finger wants to be slightly flat so that with this bit of our finger we touch those open strings and kill them off and we don't hear them. And that's really essential for getting really clean power chords. Now in the other videos I gave you a few exercises to play, but I'm not really going to do that today. Instead I'm going to set you a bit of homework. Take the 3 sets of chords from each of these 3 videos and see if you can put them together in a way to come up with a cool sounding riff or a cool sounding chord sequence. By doing this you'll get used to using them, and it's only by actually practicing using new material like this that it starts to come out naturally in our playing. So that's about it for today. Now with that and the other 2 videos you have a pretty complete knowledge of power chords that will get you through probably 80 or 90% of the songs or riffs you might play which use power chords, because I've shown you all the most common shapes in this video series. Don't forget to get your power chord guide by clicking the link underneath with the tab chord boxes and exercises from all 3 of these power chord videos on my YouTube channel. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time in another one of my videos. So take care and bye for now.